All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we are going to be in the 147-pound division where Terence Crawford, one of Terence Crawford's biggest supporters, backtracks and makes a big admission about why he's picking Terence Crawford to win the fight. If you recall, around the time of the Hall of Fame induction ceremony that took place last year, there were a lot of people that were picking Terence Crawford to win. One of those was Robert Garcia, and Robert Garcia was interviewed and he answers the question about who he thinks is going to win in a very, very interesting fashion. And this is the second guy of the people that were picking Terence Crawford around that time that have moonwalked back up off some of their statements now that we're a month away from the fight. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Look, man, this fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford for the undisputed title of the world, welterweight title of the world, is one of the hardest fights to pick of any recent fight that I can think of. There are plenty of reasons to think that Errol Spence Jr. is going to win, plenty of reasons to think that Terence Crawford could win. Reasonable people can look at the same thing and come to different conclusions. But at the end of the day, it is an absolutely terrific fight to be taking place on paper, as long as it doesn't turn out to look like the fight we got to see last night between Regis Prograis and Zorilla, who ran around the ring. So, my goodness gracious, what a terrible fight. But short of somebody doing that, this should be an excellent fight. Now, Robert Garcia, who is the trainer of Mikey Garcia, who is a multi-divisional champion and a fighter that was in the ring with Errol Spence Jr., made a prediction for the fight and said that he believed that Terence Crawford would win that fight. He said that before, and he's saying it now. Only difference is that he's making a very, very shocking admission as to why he's saying it. Now, before I get into the details, real quick, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icons. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of more when we release more videos. If you don't like it, hey man, hit the thumbs down button. Just do something. Share the video would be greatly appreciated. All right. And let me say thank you to everybody that has been a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel. This video I'm going to dedicate to Queen Vaughn. I hope that you're doing well, Queen Vaughn. Thank you for your continued support. And I actually hope you watch a video that is not related to Gervonta Tank Davis. But before we get into that, I just want to tell you real fast about today's sponsor, the Boxing Showtime app. It's a very useful app that keeps you updated on all things boxing, and you can keep up with the latest fights, where to watch them, the latest news, and a lot more. For any hardcore boxing fan like myself, and most likely all of y'all, I would definitely recommend downloading it. And it also is most definitely a big support to the channel. It's available for both Apple and Android, and you can find the link in the description below. Thanks for considering downloading Boxing Showtime's app. But let's get back into the subject matter of the video. Robert Garcia says, the reason I don't know why I'm picking him. I don't know why I'm picking him. He said that is the strange thing about this fight. I don't know why I think Terence Crawford is going to win. I can't really even see any reason to pick him. But this is such a close fight. I really think that this is what Robert Garcia says. The reason why I'm picking him really is because I know him and I'm cool with him. He's a nice guy. We get along. So, hey, man, I'm picking him to win. I have been telling you all that is the reason why a lot of these guys are picking one guy or the other. But many people who pick Terence Crawford, I'm telling you, they're over there and have done business and been on in Top Rank when Terence Crawford was with Top Rank. One thing that I gotta say about Terence Crawford is even though he may not be the most active person in the world on the camera, if you pay attention to what people say, a lot of people are friends with him. Nonito Donaire, I talked to Nonito Donaire. I actually went to a fight with Nonito Donaire, one of the best fighters in the smaller weight classes to ever do it. Will be fighting in a co-main event, I believe July 19th on a card with Jaron Ennis. He was like, yeah, man, I know Terence Crawford. I got him his phone. He's real cool. We get along. Does he know Errol Spence? No, he does not know Errol Spence. That is not, I'm telling you, that has a lot to do with why certain people are picking him. Tim Bradley, same thing. Tim Bradley is like, well, admit, hey, man, I'm riding. I kind of say a little bit much about, how easy the fight is for Terence, because that's my guy. I'm riding with him. We have a former sparring partner of his. And Terence Crawford has been around a lot longer than Errol Spence Jr. He's also been on the pound for pound lists a lot longer than Errol Spence Jr. has been. He's also been fighting on network television a lot longer than Errol Spence Jr. has. Errol Spence Jr., really, his popularity went up and he's a more popular fighter. But if you look and just think about how long it's been that Terence Crawford has been fighting on HBO, which had a lot of eyes on HBO at the time that he was fighting Ricky Burns, at the time that he was fighting guys like, I think HBO, I'm pretty sure all of his 135 pound time was spent on HBO. And I think he was on HBO all the way up through a lot of the fights in the 140 pound division. I think that maybe around the Victor Postal time, on the Julius Ndungo fight was right around the time that HBO went away and Top Rank transitioned to ESPN. But that's a very long time for a lot of people to be watching him fight, where Errol Spence Jr. is fighting on Showtime, and a lot of these commentators are not actually at his fights, watching his fights. That's something that Roy Jones Jr. said. Roy Jones Jr. said, look, man, I've seen Terence Crawford fight more often than I've seen Errol Spence Jr. fight. So I don't really know what to make of Errol Spence because I haven't seen him do this. I haven't seen him do that. And I'm telling you, when these professional boxing professionals say they haven't seen him fight, I'm telling you, most of these guys are talking about haven't seen him fight in person, watching him either in the gym or watching them from ringside, because that's how a lot of these guys are watching. They're watching those fights. If they're not actually, color commentating, or if they're not actually, in the ring, in the corner with them, or at the fight in the front row, a lot of these guys are not watching these fights because they're either at the gym or training their own fighters, or preparing for their other fighters, watching their fighters fight. And a lot of trainers will tell you, look, man, I don't watch a lot of boxing on the weekends. When I get done working with my fighters, I'm not watching a lot of fighters. Derek James said that about Terence Crawford and had said, look, I haven't really watched a lot of him because I'm spending most of my time focusing on my fighters. Could be the same thing for Mikey Garcia. Could be the same thing for a lot of different trainers who are just kind of looking at it without really, really studying and saying, yeah, I kind of like what I've seen out of him. And it's much more of a safe bet. But I just thought that was a very interesting admission for Robert Garcia to make, very similar to what Sugar Ray Leonard had said when Sugar Ray Leonard was asked about the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr. fight. And Sugar Ray Leonard said, Mikey. Why? Because it's Mikey. Now, why would, aside from Sugar Ray Leonard just disliking and wanting to be disrespectful to Errol Spence Jr. and what Errol Spence Jr. does, what reason could that be? It could be that Sugar Ray Leonard's not watching Errol Spence Jr. fights, and Mikey Garcia, who also was on HBO with Top Rank, the same promotional company that Sugar Ray Leonard was with for a long time, and the relationships that he has there, that he could have just been fighting, have seen more of Mikey Garcia. So, man, it's just real interesting in this stuff, man. But Robert Garcia, hey, man, I got to take my hat off to him for being honest about that. Where he's like, look, man, honestly, man, I don't know why I'm picking him. I just kind of like the guy, I guess. Other than that, can't see a reason to pick him. Now, not saying that means that he can say, well, I can clearly see why Errol would beat him, because if that was the case, he may actually say that. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting information. Wanted to share that with you. The interview itself is on Ellie Sethback's channel. Very good channel, ES News, obviously. So thank you very much for listening to this video. If you like the video, again, hit the subscribe button, share the video with somebody on Instagram or on Twitter, would be greatly appreciated. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.